Kim Coates. I play Tig Traeger, Sons of Anarchy, and you are watching Born to Ride TV.
Thanks for tuning in to Born to Ride TV, the longest running biker TV show in the world. This week,
I am the PanAmerican, forever exploring. And I am here by the grace of my lineage. I am Harley Davidson.
And it's a tribute to Big Daddy Rat and the Rat's Hole Custom Chopper shows. You'll see Arlen Ness, Evel Knievel, and an exclusive interview with Daddy Rat himself from the vault of producing Born to Ride for 25 years. Teddy Smith has carried on the Rat's Hole tradition, and this year in Daytona, find out how Born to Ride is giving out Editor's Choice Award to be featured in our magazine. All this and more here on Born to Ride.
Born to Ride is sponsored in part by Rubenstein Law, 1-800-FL-LEGAL, representing riders since 1988. Offices throughout Florida, 1-800-FL-LEGAL. If Instagram is your thing, we're there. We're everywhere. Follow us at #Born to Ride Motorcycle Media, your #1 motorcycle resource.
You're here by the grace of your lineage. You stand on the backs of those who came before you, the defiant ones. Outlaws of adventure, explorers of the unknown. Harley Davidson defined the motorcycle. But it was you who challenged the destination and rode across continents. You who climbed uncharted mountains, who raged through desert sand, and faced the fury of ice and snow, in the hope of discovering beauty unknown. You are the pathfinders, whose hearts beat to discover new terrain, and to find yourself all over again, in the emptiness of an open road. It has always been your relentless spirit for adventure that's pushed us to take you further. Why call it adventure touring when it's human nature to seek beyond our limits? I am the PanAmerican, forever exploring. And I am here by the grace of my lineage. I am Harley Davidson. That's what it's about. Look at this. It's been years that I've wanted to do this. I've known it's coming, and I just want to thank Harley for giving me the opportunity to direct the piece that you just saw. It means the world to me. I mean, my job is to act and direct and, you know, filmmaking, and sometimes you're playing other characters, and it's great. There's nothing like doing your passion, which is ride motorcycles. And to be introducing this bike for Harley and have the opportunity to make a film for them, I wanted to show something that showed the lineage, where it all came from, how we took those bikes, how we pushed them further, whether that be up a mountain, through the desert, just pushing it to all speeds and taking something that Harley created. And it's really the connection between the human spirit and our adventure for touring, and this is finally here. It's the next generation. So those new pathways, and this is definitely the trailblazer right here. So thank you very much, Harley. I love you.
With a street bike, you fight to keep it clean, but I almost want to leave the mud on this motorcycle. But I guess that's all part of the adventure touring thing. It's about kind of leaving scars on the motorcycle and bits of history. I'm looking pretty good here. Got to ride over and see the boss. See if I can talk Jochen into taking another ride with me. I'd love to go out and get this thing muddy again. How you doing? Let's do it.
Wow, what a day.
Oh, man.
Awesome.
That was great.
What ride more did you try?
I was in off-road mode. I played with sport mode a little bit, and then we got into some gravel, and I actually put it in like the rain mode. Off-road mode was the
My
best.
favorite. So we get the fire going?
Yeah, let's do it.
With the introduction of the Pan Am, you know, there's going to be people out there that are going to say, you know, Harley Davidson is maybe a little late to this game. And, you know, my answer to that is, this is our game. This is the game that we've always played. From our earliest inception of the motorcycle and how the founders used it to prove its mettle, it's been part of us. It's in our DNA.
At the end of the 19th century, you have to remember roads across the United States aren't like they are today. They were not geared for motor vehicles. They were designed for horses, horse-drawn vehicles. You commonly had roads that were nothing more than sand.
You'll see it in the Harley-Davidson marketing literature. Their sales were in competition with a horse and buggy. And so they were saying, you know, don't buy a horse. A Harley-Davidson can get you down that same trail. It can do the same thing and get you to the place where a horse would, and you don't have to feed it, you don't have to clean up after it, and there's just so many more reasons why a Harley-Davidson is a better choice. You know, that's where trail riding comes from. It's from getting on horseback and actually riding trails, and that's where a motorcycle was one step ahead of an automobile, where it needed two trails to get down. The motorcycle could go down that single trail, and it could get you back to your favorite fishing hole or get you to that favorite hunting spot where, you know, where the bucks hid out. It's what the early founders really set out to do. You know, you kind of had a perfect storm. You had an engineering guy, you had a manufacturing guy, you had a dealer guy, and then you had a marketing guy. And he said, if we can prove that our motorcycle is far superior to every other motorcycle out there by being able to handle whatever terrain under whatever conditions, that's what people are going to want. Now, motorcycle touring, a lot of people think is kind of a new concept. And believe it or not, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel actually had their motorcycle tour of the woods that dates back to 1907. You know, Lake Geneva is, 45 miles away from here. But, you know, that was a day-long trip on a motorcycle in those days.
There's one adventure touring story of part that they had developed called a two-speed hub that, among other places, got its testing with a customer who was crusading in Wisconsin to help prevent the spread of tuberculosis. His name was Ted Worley, and he was an avid outdoorsman. And one of the things he loved about his job is it got him out in the outdoors as much as possible. And he ends up writing a pamphlet on behalf of Harley-Davidson called Camping Hints When Touring with a Motorcycle. And it's everything from how to set up your tent. There was a recipe for soup. There's even a great illustration showing how he set up the luggage on his motorcycles.
By 1920, we're a global company. We've been selling since 1913 in Japan. We've been selling in Brazil. We've been selling in Australia, Europe. And so we start seeing these letters flow into the company. Here's my trip to the Panama Canal. You see, Harley-Davidsons and elephants and all these exotic things. There was nothing holding you back. As long as there was ground and, the motorcycle could conquer it. We talk about on-road or off-road. Well, what's a road? To a motorcycle, what isn't?
When the sport model comes out, a good amount of the advertising talked about these kind of competitive rides they did up a mountain road.
There was a fellow by the name of Charles F. Barrett, and he entered his Harley-Davidson, and he beat out every automobile in the Utica AAA Auto Club hill climb, and he beat them handily. And after that, all the auto clubs, including the AAA, outlawed motorcycles in their hill climb.
In 1930, William H. Davidson, who is the son of William A. Davidson, one of the co-founders of the company, wins the Jack Pine Enduro. And this was an endurance run held in the Lower Peninsula of Michigan. And by that point, it had grown to have quite a reputation. One of Harley-Davidson's dealers, a woman in Detroit, Michigan, Dot Robinson, would talk about, having competed in the Jack Pine. She talked about, scratches on the arms from tree branches. And the Jack Pine was some of the most grueling terrain that anybody could ride. She competed several times, won it twice. World War II comes along and it changes literally everything for everyone. They took what was the W, as it was called, civilian model, and made a lot of adaptations to it.
They were specifically designed to handle conditions that the military used things like Jeeps for. It has stronger forks, it's got stronger handlebars, it has a skid plate on it, it's got an air cleaner that has an oil bath so it can handle dusty conditions. Luggage racks and gun scabbards and ammo boxes, they all get incorporated so they can handle that terrain.
And they would get letters from servicemen serving in the Pacific, servicemen serving in Europe saying, I was a rider before the war, or maybe they weren't, but they're riding a Harley-Davidson in the military now, and they would report that it's handling it well, and it's really a reliable bike. And, those guys wanted reliable vehicles. They didn't want to get stuck anywhere. You never knew when you would get in a tight spot.
So as the interstate system comes into play after World War II, and we start seeing the advent of the superhighway in the United States, Harley has to really pivot. You're starting to make motorcycles that can travel at a higher rate of speed. They can carry multiple passengers and more gear. People are going to go further distances. What might have been a day trip that was 60 miles away, now, you might go 300 miles. In 1956, we sell our first true touring motorcycle where it's sold is the fact. It's the king of the highway. And you get saddlebags, you get a windshield. It's got an extra thick buddy seat so you can take a passenger along. The rise of off-road or motocross racing in the 1970s was a huge boom. And we made scramblers. We made SX 125s, 175s, which were off-road. Probably the most grueling motorcycle race in North America is the Baja 500. Well, a lot of people don't even realize that A, Harley competed in it, and B, they don't even know that we won it one year. And this is usually run by dune buggies and Jeeps, and so to win that was really a huge thing. So, we were involved in it, and at the time, Harley Davidson decided to take a different course and concentrate on more heavyweight touring motorcycles.
Race fans, racing is coming to Pensacola Dirt Track. It's the Quad World Finals, $5,000 purse, and Motorcycle World Finals, $2,000 purse. Friday, February 26th, short track racing, amateurs and pro classes. Gates open 12 noon, practice 5 p.m. Racing starts at 7 p.m. Open practice Thursday, February 25th. It's fun for the whole family at a special price, only $10 admission. It's all brought to you by Florida's law firm, Rubenstein Law, representing riders since 1988, and Born to Ride TV and magazine. Then Saturday night, February 27th, it's racing action at Southern Raceway, Milton, Florida, with TT and the 3/8 mile. Gates open at 9 a.m., $10 general admission. Don't miss. So race fans, 3 days of racing in Florida. Don't miss it, be there. For more info, call 850-637-5838.
An amazing start to another Born to Ride live show, folks.
Yeah, welcome. Hey, everybody. Hey, the Pan America that you're watching, we're going to see more about Harley's new Pan America 1250, the adventure touring bike.
Boy, that is the big thing. Can you imagine? Aquaman is Jason Momoa, of course, strolling through the country on one of those bad boys.
Yeah, and it actually looks like something that Norman Reedus would ride.
Right.
The Walking Dead kind
of
thing. Yeah. You know what I think? I could be wrong, but it looks to me like what happened here, friends, is Harley had, as you recall, the V-Rod.
Yeah.
The street cruiser bike that was really fast, but nobody wanted it because it sounded like the car from the Jetsons.
Yeah.
So, here's what I think.
Tell me what you think, Dave.
I think after the V-Rod bombed, they took the motor out of it because they had this liquid-cooled motor that they had to do something with.
Right.
And they stuck it in the Pan America.
Well, there you go.
That's my theory.
Well, you stick with that, Dave.
But you're going to see more of that.
Yep. Throughout the show. Throughout the show. As a matter of fact, I think we should get right to it, Dave. I'm excited to see what Aquaman has in store for us next.
Let's bubble up.
There.
Sunday, February 28th, biker party at Papa Beer Bar and Grill. It's the Shallow Wrestling Championships and Snazzy Suds, the hottest bikini bike wash girls ever. Born to Ride TV taping with John and Heather. Sunday, February 28th at Papa Beer. Always biker friendly and veteran owned. Stop by on your Sunday rides for $3 Bloody Marys. That's Papa Bear Bar and Grill, Tampa.
it's a Marty party. Hey, man, what are you sitting on the couch, seeing your Doritos? Why don't you dig in the cushion, change your oil? Get the hell out here. Get Born to Ride magazine and see what's going on. You won't be missing any more shows. Oh, I missed another one? Yeah, get Born to Ride. Get out there and ride.
Thank you to everyone who comes out every year and supports me. I've seen nothing but familiar faces today and a lot of new ones, Ronnie. Yeah, I love my customers. They're great. They're supportive. We have campers all out back, people that have come for the whole weekend. I'm here because I love it and I love y'all.
That's the deal I was born to ride. The stars are shining bright at Crystal Harley-Davidson. Jeff, Bo, and Craig are the Hog Stars. They are offering top dollar for your trade-in. Push it, pull it, drag it, drive it, motorcycles, old cars, trucks, boats, side-by-sides, and more. The Hog Stars are ready to get you riding your new 2021 Harley-Davidson in stock in our showroom now. Ask for the Hog Stars to get the most for your trade. Go to crystalharley.com to find out more.
Everyone always said, well, you got to make this trade-off. You're either going to be an off-road bike or you're going to be an on-road bike. And to me, that never really made sense, that it had to be this dichotomy of one or the other.
And it was like, hey, there's an opportunity here. You know, this is like a missing link. Frankly, we own the Grand American touring market. We are the market. If you think about power that the company was able to harness and the desirability that the product had at its core through the early 90s all the way through the 2000s, we love that customer. That customer's been incredibly special to us and important to us, but we've got to start thinking about a new customer too. Like, this is something that should have been in our lineup, and all these things came into place, and we eventually said, yeah, let's do this, man. We can absolutely own this.
The way we approached Pan Am was to go off and decide what kind of motorcycle we wanted to build. What are the targets? What are the requirements? What are the things that are going to delight real advocates, people that really have this in their blood?
We want to deliver all the expectations that those customers expect. We want to do it better than the competition, and we want to do it in our own way that's unique. It has to be the Harley way. So that's where the tension was, because a lot of people thought when we said it's got to be the Harley way, it's going to be heavy, it's going to be loud, it's going to have flames on it. And that's not what we were talking about. We were talking about individuality and something that people hadn't done before. You kind of have to find that space in between evolution and revolution. And we had a little more freedom with PanAmerican because there was nothing that came before it. Whenever you do something that's kind of radically different and unexpected, you're going to shake people up. I remember telling leadership at the time, I said, this is exactly what we want. It's the right bike, it's the right shape, it's the right moment, and it's kind of the right mindset right now with the company. It took a story. I said, hey, first of all, when the company started, there were no roads. That's a great, nice foundational chunk to kind of build this whole thing off of. Second thing was the way that we supported 2 world wars with products that basically invented adventure touring. And then, I mean, we won Baja. And if you think about America and just the vast amounts of land that are unpaved, like this countryside around me, there's just a huge opportunity here. And it is touring, you know, and we kind of invented Grand American touring. And the fact that you're being so polarized about it is a really healthy reaction to have. I believe iconic, innovative design scares the hell out of people at first. And if we don't have that, that means we haven't pushed it far enough.
Being an industry-leading company doing touring puts us in a really great position to build an adventure touring bike.
Because it's an adventure touring bike, because it's a tool, because function absolutely has to deliver, we were lockstep with engineering.
The acuity to actually put that engineering into the bike to make it a superior motorcycling experience was a lot harder than people might have thought.
It was ground up, and it started with the powertrain.
We're not really into covers and decorative things that you put over and hide. We're really more into the functionality. What you see is actually what works. And that's why we believe that the engine should be out front and proud. The concept here was to design the engine such that it was stiff enough to be the central member of the frame.
which gave us the opportunity to make the whole motorcycle lighter.
And that, as a designer, allows you incredible flexibility because you're not stuck to a frame. You can actually design from the engine out.
It's shaped so that you can take high-speed turns and really get a grip on it.
From a dynamic standpoint, the weight needs to be low and it needs to be in the right places. How do we optimize our frame weight to get the stiffnesses we need? There's so many areas that have to come together to make this thing work right. It's really the definition of a massive team effort.
Once we started putting people on them, then we had the problem that everybody in the company wanted to get on them. At our Arizona test facility, we built a whole new section just for testing off-road adventure touring bikes.
We developed 9 different criteria that we look at for off-road development at dirt roads, how the bike behaves, how it slides, how it doesn't, where the grip is, where it isn't. So all the road bike knowledge that we had just came on top of that. We spent a lot of time and effort to make sure that the bike really did everything.
Impressed. We've given the engineers the freedom and creativity to come to this space, and they've really expressed themselves. They've found it almost like an intellectual challenge, and they've done an exceptional job of really reinterpreting adventure touring for Harley-Davidson.
This powertrain is a home run for us. This bike has a top speed of 135 miles an hour with cargo. Crazy competent on the road. Carves switchbacks like a full-fledged street bike. You know, so hot off the line that people are gonna have to use glue to hold onto the handlebars. This is a new genre for Harley-Davidson. We plan to build upon this platform going forward. A product that's coming out very soon, the 1250 Custom Cruiser. It's got a fistful of torque and power, just like the PanAmerican.
The suspension system has got top-of-the-line balance-free forks with semi-active top-of-the-line damping, a balance-free rear cushion with also semi-active damping control, as well as the adaptive ride height.
So adaptive ride height is a first for the motorcycle industry. It lowers the motorcycle as you come to a stop, which makes it much, much more confidence-inspiring for anyone.
And then once you take off, the system automatically builds up pressure and pumps itself back up to your normal height. I spent a day on a regular PanAmerican with regular suspension. I had then hopped on an adaptive ride height bike that I had to do some other work on. And that was the moment I was like, oh, wow, yeah, this is a game changer. People are gonna love this. With a push of a button, I can make it a very sporty bike. If I wanna make it a Luxo cruiser, I can do that too.
I feel what sets us apart is the way that Harley does customization. We've thought of everything. Titanium exhaust, lightweight materials that are durable. We partnered with Michelin on our knobby tires, the auxiliary lights, for that nighttime riding or for the canyon riding. We offer guards for those rugged terrains. We offer 3 different luggage solutions. Our sport luggage, docking mounts right on the vehicle. The aluminum luggage for those off-road riders that are camping. It's all about maximizing space. Soft luggage bags for those ultra rugged adventures. What we do is try to balance out from a look standpoint as well as the functionality of it.
P&A is a must-have for Harley-Davidson as a whole because that's part of our DNA is customization and being able to, provide things for our customers to be able to improve the bike and their experience.
The finishes are matte sheen, they got texture. We went with powder coat because it's durable. We really wanted to design and develop something really tactical and functional for this consumer and rider. I think from a styling and color, material, finish, graphic standpoint, we always look to the past. Harley has such a strong brand identity that we have to look back and, make sure we're nodding to it or also just inspire from it.
Harley-Davidson is known for these great leather jackets and our great leather technology.
but the adventure touring rider is different.
In order to hit the ground running with really compelling product that met these customer needs, we had to partner with someone that had the right experience. So working with Revit, they are at the top of the list. They are experts in this field. They make fantastic riding gear.
Gloves, helmets, boots. We offer from head to toe to fingertips everything that they're going to need. This is going to be all the gambit of weather. This is going to be a whole gambit of terrain. So we put that focus on a textile garment in that it brings us a real versatility in waterproofing, in venting.
We've gone through a lot of work to really show up with the right stuff to meet these customers at their expectations and then exceed them.
It's this great combination of product design and transportation design and Harley-Davidson design. You know, the first cafeteria napkin sketches that led to this thing. Long journey, thinking about the history of the company and kind of creating the missing link, if you will. And now here we are in 2021 with everything that's going on in the world and all the change, and you know, Harley-Davidson is back off-road. To be a small part of that story is, you know, that's pretty exciting. The paved road is one thing. It has its poetry and its moments and its romance, but it doesn't get you here, you know? Thanks for showing me around your neighborhood.
Anytime.
These bikes were phenomenal.
They really were.
So how was Kenya? How was riding a PanAmerica in Kenya?
It was great. I mean, you know, I rode it non-stop for a few hours into a rainstorm, into the heat.
Yeah.
Gravel, off-road sand, all the riding modes, and it was you know, really fantastic. Even at night, you know, in that landscape, you have elephants and giraffe and everything showing up at the same time.
Incredible.
No, it was quite amazing. After a couple of days, get to know the bike, and it's just, you know, for the power it has, it's incredibly agile.
Yep.
It's a proper Harley machine that you ride through thick and thin.
I thought, you know, the last couple of days, just the more I rode it, the smaller and smaller the bike became.
It does.
It just feels lighter and more agile, and you just gain confidence because it's very forgiving. Ride modes just compensate, make you feel like you're a much better rider than you are.
It's a very sleek bike. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
And it's the first adventure touring bike made in America.
It is. Yeah.
This bike does everything. This is the start. We have great plans to expand on Pan Am and lots of innovation waiting. This is just a launch into a whole new dimension for the company.
Yeah.
Well, cheers to a great day.
Thank you so much for showing me those incredible trails.
It was fun. We rode quite a distance.
Yeah.
I mean, we had, you know, proper touring, but then just off the beaten track, and it's just a natural expansion from Grand American touring into off-road touring. To me, it's part of the history, it's part of the legacy, it's part of the DNA of Harley-Davidson. And you've got to innovate, but you preserve the past as well. And that's what Harley-Davidson has always done so well.
It's true.
That's what we're doing with this incredible bike, you know. I think it's ready. What do you think?
I think it's ready, absolutely.
So let's give
do
it
this,
to the world.
Cheers, man. Let's do it. So, Yakin, you brought your guitar?
Yes, welcome back. It is Born to Ride Live. The Flashman here, Dave Nichols over there on the other coast, covering you coast to coast. And folks, don't forget, if you are not a part of our Facebook family, make sure you click the subscribe and like us and share us. And don't forget, borntoride.com has just got tons and tons, 25 years worth of biker content just for you.
Wow.
So make sure you check it out. Channel or links, I should say, to all of our other channels, our YouTube channel, Instagram, and all of it. So borntoroide.com. You need to check that out. Dave, I missed you so bad this past weekend, man. Thunder by the Bay was absolutely incredible. And I know you mentioned it, but I'm going to beat you to the punch. Big shout out to Eric Runyon.
Yes, Eric, you did a phenomenal job. I saw this great half-an-hour video of the whole. I got to actually walk through and see everything as if I were there. And thank you, Eric, for getting all those over 50 amazing custom chopper builders that were all at Choppertown Live at Thunder by the Bay. So
I'll tell you, we've got a little mini feature coming up in the next segment, but I got to tell you, Dave, I would hate to have been one of those judges because those guys, I mean, you and I have talked about this several times, the attention to detail. You can just tell that the passion that these guys have when they get to building these motorcycles. And it was just an amazing time. I got to hang out all weekend. I was set up doing the music this past weekend, right between our friends from Rooster's Rod Shop here locally in the Tampa Bay area. And we had just an absolute I got to tell you, I don't know if it's in the clip. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but they had out there, they were featuring, because Eric wanted a little bit of something for everybody. They had everything from motorcycles to choppers to skateboards to custom vans. And I was set up right next to this 1974 Ford van that these guys found as a barn find in California. Hadn't been titled since '88. It's just like you see on all the TV shows. They literally just buffed the paint out, and they had the Krager rims and the side pipes, and it got so many looks. I got so many amazing and funny comments that I really can't tell you on camera.
Lots of shag carpeting, I would guess. Right?
Yeah, shag being the key word there.
Yes. Well, hey, some of the big winners at Choppertown Live. Of course, they had the Builder's Choice Award was the Bill Dodge Award of Excellence. Best of Show winner went to James Alcorn of Alleyway Customs of Jacksonville for his amazing root beer colored panhead in which he did everything. He built everything. He did the paint. He did the seat. He did some of the chrome. I mean, he did everything on that bike, and he definitely deserved to win that beautiful custom-made Springer front end from Mondo of Denver's Choppers. And in second place was the winner of the Paco rigid frame was George Casal of Good Looking Choppers out of Edgewater, Florida. He had this sweet shovel head.
Yes,
that
he
won
did.
Second place.
And I'll tell you, the cool thing about that too, Dave, is our first place winner was supposed to take everything, but he was so cool. He kept the custom front end, and he made a second place and gave the frame to George. I thought that was really cool.
Very cool.
It showed the camaraderie between these builders and the respect they had for each other.
Absolutely. And also I want to give a shout out to the High Seas Rally was there with their booth. They gave away a free cruise on Saturday night. Who was it? It was
Molly Hatchet.
Molly Hatchet. They gave out the award, and the award went to Louis Brevaro, who's a member of the Blue Knights of Sarasota. So very cool all around, amazing stuff. And we're going to see a little preview of Choppertown Live right now.
Let's get after it.
dynamic Daytona Beach, Florida, to bring you a look back at the oldest and most prestigious motorcycle show in the world, the world-famous Rat's Hole Custom Chopper Show. Carl Big Daddy Rat Smith created Rat's Hole Show way back in 1971, right here in Daytona Beach, behind the A&P store off Main Street. Since then, it has expanded its annual shows to many great venues. In addition to Daytona, shows are held in Leesburg, Florida, Sturgis, South Dakota, and even overseas in Essen, Germany. The finest custom builders and the most beautiful and radical custom bikes in the world will be found here. And this week, we go back in time to the turn of the century to bring you the sights and sounds of the 2000 Millennial Rat's Hole Custom Chopper Show, where, among others, Evel Knievel and Arlen Ness was there, and we feature an exclusive interview with the late, great Big Daddy Rat himself. So stay tuned, we're off to Daytona Beach Bike Week and bring you a taste of a true classic motorcycle super event, Big Daddy Rat's Custom Chopper Show. And it's all coming up right now, right here, only on Born to Ride.
Well, it's a bright sunny day. It's a beautiful time in Daytona. It's Bike Week 2000. Here we are at none other than the Daddy Rat's Hole Bike Show, one of the classic bike shows happening at Bike Week 2000. Big Daddy Rat, welcome to the show, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Now, this is number 28 for you here in the Daytona area. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. 28 years now. We started back in 1971. So we had a great time, and this year we've had bikes entered in from Japan, like 4 or 5, Germany, Netherlands, Holland, everywhere on Europe. They're finding out that we have a lot of coverage in Europe, and they're coming to America.
This has turned into an international art show more so than a bike show.
Oh, definitely. You fill out the show cards, you'll find out you can't hardly spell the names sometimes.
How many classes do you have going today?
We're 16 classes, from 0650 rat class all the way up to the radical. You know, over 1,000, and I mean, if you've seen anything around here, you've seen some beautiful bikes.
Now, your bike shows definitely are award-winning, but they're also there's value to these entrants. They take home money, prizes, gifts.
Oh yeah, a lot of gifts, a lot of prizes. First place winners get a watch from me, a Daddy Rat watch, or well, let's call it Mickey Mouse's father. And then we also give clocks away, money away, and the trips to Germany. There's 15 bikes that will be picked here in the next 30 days that will go to Germany, fully paid, food, air, everything. And there'll be another 10 bikes that will be picked out for $1,000 in towing and everything. And most time those guys come up and take the money and go with us. And the nicest thing about the German deal is that every single bike in here, whether it's plain chain or not, has a chance, because the promoter, Wolfgang Schuler from Motor Show Essen, picks the bike he likes.
And it's an honor to go to Germany.
Oh, definitely. Every bike. I see 2 or 3 bikes over here. In fact, the bike you're looking at right now has made 2 trips to Germany, but each year he adds more and more and more to it.
Daddy Rat, a couple years ago I had an interview with me, and you told me years ago it was radical if a bike showed up at your bike show with a mushroom painted on the tank.
Yeah, that was right. 1971. The only bike that was in there had a little molded mushroom, that's all.
Now you're standing next to a bike that has a carburetor probably about 4.5 feet tall. What do they think about that?
Yeah, 4 blowers, 4 cobs, 4 pipes. It's unbelievable. And J.C. Hines from Alabama is the owner of this. And I have a real feeling that this boy is going to Germany with me this November.
What do you think's taking place, the trends happening in the motorcycle industry? Seeing more radical, bigger engines?
Unbelievable trends. Some of the top bike builders sit down with me and they say, you know, I don't know what to build next year. I mean, everything is different and different, you know.
Do you think they all come here to see your show and get a couple more ideas and build on top of that?
Well, if you've seen all the people here and all the bikes here, we have the biggest show and the most prestigious show.
Hey guys, from the Rat's Hole Show, you're watching Born to Ride.
Bike Week, it's Rat Armageddon, Saturday, March 13th, the 48th world-famous Rat's Hole Custom Chopper Show, including the Born to Ride Editor's Choice Award with its very own Rat Trophy. Winner will be featured in Born to Ride magazine, Born to Ride TV taping. It's all sponsored by Rubenstein Law. Think motorcycle. It's happening at Indian Motorcycle Daytona, Beach Street, Saturday, March 13th.
This is your newest creation with us today, and tell us a little bit about this bike. You said you got to have one for fun once in a while.
Yeah, this is not a real radical custom bike. This is just kind of a fun bike. I like to build a chopper every year. I always like the high bars. That's kind of where I started. And this one we made the frame look like a hardtail frame, but it's actually a rubber mount FXR motor with a monoshock in it. And it's got the rigid look, but all the comforts.
And the rigid look is coming back, it seems.
Yeah, rigid is real popular. In fact, I'm building a couple rigids for some friends of mine right now that haven't done that for years.
Well, it's good to see that come back. Arlen, if we can take just a moment here, there's quite a few products that you offer on the bike and a lot of details. So maybe we'd like to spend a moment and tell the viewers everything about the bike.
The front wheel is a 21-inch wheel, one of our wheels that we make, aluminum hub, aluminum rim, stainless spokes. It has an Avon tire, stainless rotor, are all billet wide glide front end. We call that a Massa Glide. Billet headlight, and all the master cylinders, levers, and twist grips and that stuff is all out of our product line. The motor is S&S cases, and then of course has all of our rocker boxes, cam cover, push rod tubes, and we're running a Edelbrock Quicksilver carburetor on it. I believe it's an 88-inch. The pipes that are on it we made those for this model because of the way the frame is. They're cut and welded U-bends. Of course, the running boards are out of our product line. This is a rubber mount 5-speed FXR tranny. The frame has been made to look like a rigid, but also it has a swing arm inside there. 18-inch rear wheel with Avon 180 tire. The exhaust pipes have the billet machined ends in them. On this side of the bike is the primary covers, the shifters, the kickstand. That's all product that we make. Pretty much most of the bolt-on stuff is right out of the catalog, so makes it real simple to build a bike. And that's pretty well it.
This bike show is fantastic, like always. Years the most prestigious show in the world.
Man,
you know that.
Everybody's talking about no one does it like you. What's the standouts this year?
Oh, we got all kinds of standards. Skellbot over there, two-wheel bike, bikes from Germany, another one trike already brought all the way from Germany here, from Munich. I mean, unbelievable things are here.
And who's your driver here, man?
My driver is my little Schatzi.
Schatzi?
From Germany.
From Germany. Her name is Tina Smith. Or I mean, Tina Talksdorf.
What do you think about Bike Week this year compared to last year?
Well, it's a little bit down, but I mean, it's good. It's not bad. I think it's just everybody was worried about all the rain and everything down here, but it looks good. I mean, it's real strong on the streets. A lot of people. We just keep bringing more people and more people. I mean, look at it.
I mean, when you look at my bike show and you see 10 or 15 bikes from Germany, and you see France and other places, it's unbelievable. I mean, that's a lot of money to bring a bike over here to the Daddy Rat show.
What do you have to say to the viewers of Born to Ride Television?
Oh, without a doubt, Ron, you know you're doing a damn good job, and you ought to keep doing it. I always know that Ron's here because he goes to all the events and he films and does everything for you bikers. So keep it up, keep doing it, and don't forget, get on the web pages, ratshole.com, and you'll see the Rat's Hole.
Yes, sir, Bob. Here's the king.
What's happening, Bob?
Oh, man, I'm here riding around with the king of rats. Yes, sir.
And his
the
sweetheart.
Big Daddy Rat and the beautiful Tina. And the winner is
Carl Smith.
Carl Smith, and here's the prize. Woo!
Hello, my name's James Hines here. I'm from Daleville, Alabama. I'm here at the Rat's Hole prestigious bike show for the year 2000. I guess you could call this the Millennium Year because there's some strange things going on I can vouch for. I just won my 3rd trip to Germany. I can't believe it, man. This is incredible. But it's because of my little old bike here. I don't understand it. We've got a few blowers, a few pipes, a little nitrous. What happened here? Is this a dream I'm going to wake up, or is this real? I think it's real, man, because what we've got here is the blower bike, and the blower bike has 4 carburetors, 4 scoops, 4 blowers, 7 bottles of nitrous, and 1 18.5-inch back tire. What else do you want? It's kind of getting a little old here, isn't it? It's been here 3 years now, but what I'm going to do next year is going to be a little more impressive. I'd like to tell you, but it's probably be better if you see it first, because you won't believe what I've got to say. So, but we're going to show you a few shots of this bike here and let you see what you think about it, and see if you think the same thing that I've been looking at, and maybe some of the judges think. We're on our 3rd trip to Germany, and this here is what I always ride on my weekends. This is how I spend my weekends. I take it out, terrorize. I'm ride in the city of Daleville, and then I go back home. I've made my day by that time. Well, folks, we're coming to an end today. We've had a real busy day, but a very, very prosperous day. I think we were all pretty happy. Everybody should be. Everybody that was here was a winner. I can't find anybody that shouldn't be thinking of themselves as a loser at this point. I want to say to all of the friends out there, all the bikers, be careful and keep the rubber down on the ground. That's all I got to say for you guys.
Well, it's time to say goodbye and close the show, but before we go, Daddy Rat, I have to talk to you a little bit about Daytona and Bike Week. This is 2000. You've been involved in this Bike Week for over 28 years. What kind of changes have you seen over the years, and what's the evolution?
Tremendous changes. When the people come down here, there is gigantic big bridges, everything that you can even expect. And the nicest thing about it is that back in the old days, it was really rough. And then Chief Crow came in and that changed it, and so we're still going on to the best.
And it's very good for the economy here in the Daytona area, it seems.
Oh, yeah, they're talking about $500 million and more.
One heck of a show, and this has been one heck of a Bike Week, and thank you for joining us. Number 2000 Daddy Rat, we look forward to joining you each and every year. Number 29 is coming up, and you know every girl's 29.
All right, so am I, 44, that's all.
Thanks for joining us this year, and I think I might see if I can take a little fly on this bike. I don't think this bike rides, I think it flies. What do you think?
Oh, I think it flies, but we need training wheels, I think.
So long from Born to Ride TV, and thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Bye.
Yes, indeed. Boy, that hour went fast today.
No kidding.
I'm telling you right
now. Hey, tell everybody what they need to be watching out for.
Well, coming up this week, we've got the flat track going on. Of course, we got the Papa Beer event that's been coming up or is coming up. And of course, everybody loves to go down to Charlotte's Web.
Charlotte's Web.
I'll tell you right now, I almost left Thunder by the Bay after they shut it down, and I said, you know what? I could just head east a little bit. I could run down and just go right on over to Charlotte's Web. But the big Marty party's happening. It's all happening this weekend, and of course, right here in the latest issue of the Born to Ride magazine.
Yes.
All that information is available to you right there by paper or borntoride.com. Check it out.
Yep. You can look at it digitally if you want.
That is correct.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, that's all the time we've got this week. You have a great week. You guys have a great week as well.
And we'll see you next time.
Right here on Born to Ride Live. We'll see you guys next week.